Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's happening? Great news. Great news. Apparently, the WBO has ordered Terence Crawford versus Shawn Porter. Now, Shawn Porter was a mandatory for Terence Crawford for a little minute. That mandatory slot never really got activated. Porter went to top-ranking Bob Arum to try to make a fight. Of course, Bob Arum on the cheap side tried to lowball Shawn Porter. For whatever reason, Shawn Porter never really pressed the issue on making that fight with Terence Crawford. Of course, they have some sort of friendship that kind of impedes the fruition of this fight. I really don't know what to think of this other than the fact that it's great news and I would love to see this go through. I would love to see Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter come together and say, look, we got to make this shit happen. You know, the WBO has ordered it, which means that if there isn't a deal done within 30 days, it's going to go to purse bid. At that point, either Terence Crawford would have to Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter accept the purse bid amount. Whoever picks it up, it's a good chance that PBC could pick this fight up. It's a great chance that DAZN could pick this fight up. It's a good chance that Triller could pick this fight up. Now, with Triller having so many issues with Teofimo Lopez and, you know, I've heard of some money issues even with the Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. fight. They might not be a huge player in this, but I wouldn't count them out. And we still have to see how the Teofimo Lopez fight go, right? If that shit is even still on. But it's a great chance when you have two known guys, two elite fighters at the welterweight division, and you have an undefeated pound for pound caliber guy like Terence Crawford, and you have a very, very battle-tested, very decorated, extremely experienced and skilled Shawn Porter, who is probably one of the most, not even probably, it's a fact that he's one of the most respected guys in boxing and especially in the welterweight division when you look at how he carried himself and you look at his resume, the guys that he's been in the ring with, and the fights that he's won. So when you have a fight like this available, I find it hard to believe that these other networks and promotional outfits wouldn't be clamoring to try to grab this fight if Bob Arum don't pay these guys a reasonable amount. So with the WBO ordering this, it's great news, because if Shawn Porter does say, well, look, all right, I want this matchup. Now the WBO did move Virgil Ortiz up to number 1, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's the mandatory. That just means he's ranked number 1, and Virgil Ortiz is already about to fight Mean Machine, so he's out of there. Terence Crawford doesn't necessarily have an opponent. It was rumored to be Cepeda, but I don't think that's official. Also, Shawn Porter still doesn't have an opponent. He was rumored to fight Keith Thurman in a rematch, but none of that has been signed, sealed, and delivered. So if Shawn Porter says, all right, I want this opportunity. If Bob Arum, look, let's talk to Bob. Let's see what we can do. I know that there was initially an excuse or an issue from Bob Arum's side. And this is, in my personal opinion, I think this is just Bob's way of saying, hey, I'm not trying to pay y'all no money. But he said something to the effect of, with there not being a live gate, you know, due to the whole COVID thing that was going on, you know, it wasn't cost effective to pay Shawn Porter more than that minimum of $1 million or whatever the number was going to be. I don't know if there was any concrete number on that, but ultimately he lowballed Shawn Porter, which made Shawn Porter uninterested in pursuing that fight, is one of the reasons. So now that their fight, you know, venues are having full capacity now, there's a multitude of different options for venues and locations where you can have a fight, where you can have live fans attend. So that's no longer an issue. I think Bob Arum can at least try to, pitch something. And I think he will at least try to pitch something, because Terence Crawford, even though I don't feel like he treat Terence Crawford like a prized possession, he don't treat him like a superstar or a star. Terence Crawford is the most skilled and most talented and the best fighter on Top Rank, that bar none. He is the best fighter in that entire roster. So I don't think Bob Arum is just going to let Crawford especially on his last fight. Remember, this is supposed to be Terence Crawford's last fight in his current Top Rank deal. So I don't think he just going to let him slide off and go to purse bid without really putting up a decent fight to keep it all at the crib. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's going to try to offer Shawn Porter something a little different than what he initially offered him. And we'll see what happens with that. But if they can't make a deal, it'll go to purse bid. And if Shawn Porter is adamant about making this fight, it's going to have to happen. Or Terence Crawford going to be stripped of his title. And Terence Crawford, he don't strike me as a guy that's just going to give up his belt. He don't strike me as that type of guy. I think he'll accept the 60-40 split in his favor for the champion in the purse bid. I think he'll accept that and make the fight with Shawn Porter, and they'll settle whatever the little differences is. They'll put that little friendship shit to the side and make this shit happen for the fans. That's what I think will ultimately happen. But it is a chance that PBC could pick this fight up. It's a chance that DAZN pick it up. I don't give a damn if they fought on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I can give a fuck where they fight at. I just want to see the fight. So this is great news. I'm interested to see how this unfolds. I want to know what Terence Crawford is going to do. I want to know what Shawn Porter is going to do. And I respect both of these guys. I'm a huge fan of both of these guys. I love to watch Terence fight. I love to watch Shawn fight. Both of these guys are extremely exciting in the ring. Never really in dull fights. Even though Terence Crawford's competition hasn't been all that, in my opinion, this will be his toughest matchup. This will be the hardest fight of his career thus far, because Shawn Porter, whenever he gets into these type of fights, Shawn Porter is one of those guys that fights to the level of his competition. When he get in there with a guy like this, you seen how he turned up with Earl. You seen how he turned up with Keith Thurman. That was a classic fight. You seen how he competed with Danny Garcia. You seen the Ugas fight. You seen the Kell Brook fight. All these fights were extremely exciting and very competitive. When Shawn Porter gets in there with a guy, especially of this caliber, you think about the things that he got to gain. He's fighting an undefeated fighter. He's fighting somebody that he considers to be a friend. So it's going to be bragging rights there. Later on down the line, if they really cool like that, they'll be able to sit back and, and talk about, damn, I whooped your ass. You know what I'm saying? There's a title on the line. Now you got another opportunity at a title. And then that's leverage to get you maybe a Manny Pacquiao unification if he beats Earl Spence. That gets you a rematch with Earl Spence in another unification if Earl Spence beats Manny Pacquiao. It's so many opportunities for Shawn Porter in this fight with Terence Crawford. And for Terence Crawford, it's an opportunity to add a top guy to your resume. It's an opportunity to get better, to see how you stack up against, the other guys the other top guys in the division, because Shawn Porter has fought them all. And I think this will help you get prepared to fight a guy like Errol Spence Jr. or Manny Pacquiao or Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? So y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. What do y'all think will come of this? Do you think that Shawn Porter will be, focused on trying to make this fight? Do you think he will take the purse bid if Bob Arum can't offer him nothing nice? Do you think Terence Crawford will take the fight and, accept the challenge? Do you think he will, allow his belt to get stripped? Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Contender regime boxing. I'll holla at y'all boys, man.